Welcome back to the Knaves Guild. I'm Nick. We'll be continuing our world building tonight and continuing to take a look at who and what is happening in the world of Gethra. Thanks for tuning in. Had a bit of a shaky internet start this morning, or this afternoon. Hopefully we're up and running better tonight, though. Less dropped frames. We'll see. Looks good so far. Good stuff, Bobicus. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, that was not a great stream earlier. We're gonna get onto fiber, but we're not there yet. All right. Well. Yeah, you had quite a group show up. It sounded like. Which campaign idea did you go with? Sends a tithe of human and orcish sacrifices to the witches and warlocks. Interesting. Looks good. Looks good, Bobicus. Oh, it logged us out, apparently. Give me a moment here. There you go. That's better. Alright, let's continue expanding our magic details here a little bit. Let me see who trickles in. Paying a bribe to the ruling powers. Ah, clever. Ah, welcome back, Chicken with Rabies. Looks like my internet's a little better this evening. No worries. I have been following with my wife. We're just a little bit behind. But yeah. See if anyone else from Critical Role comes by. Might be nice. All right, so we're gonna add a little bit of information about reanimation. Considered in some lands to be dark arts. Magic can be used. The dead is no known form of resurrection, but physical muscles and organs can be given, can be made to move with magic, just like any understanding may manipulate the physical world. For magicians versed in this skill, reanimated bodies may be given directive and task. The more deteriorated the body, the simpler the task it will be able to handle. There we are. Little information at least about reanimation. We'll save that. We're also going to add in a page for the Eye of Maga, which is we've talked about a few times in our Cult of Melium storyline, but there's no information about it on the wiki yet, so let's add that in. Start with a generic article. For reasons unknown. Titular lake at the Eye of Maga has healing properties within it. Denizens who bathe within the water may be healed of nearly any malady. If they encounter the healing water within. For centuries, the ruling class of the city Eye of Maga have reserved this right for themselves and those they deem deserving. All right. We'll add up here as well. Several unusual side effects have been noted, but they are rare. They are incredibly rare to encounter. All right, looks good there. We might as well link that up with our ongoing Cult of Melium storyline. I have Maga's Healing Waters. Perfect. All right. Got a bit more detail there anyway. All right, why don't we continue a little bit of Luther Rental's storyline with Chicken with Rabies. We kind of decided to circle back to that, so let's see what's going on. I think we should figure out during this time what else is going on in this area, and then see if that will affect what she's up to. So let's take a look at some options here. Get that zoomed in a bit for you guys. So we got on around the Grey Sea before the arrival of the Cult of Melium. Alright, so it could have been a war, rampant piracy. We know that there are some pirates, and Gethra is one of them. Alright, what else could have been going on? Major controversy, sorry. Controversy. Let's see, what else? You guys got any ideas? Some world events that might be unfolding before the cult arrives and starts converting everyone? Could be a revolution, perhaps. I've got an idea. Natural disaster. Alright, let's oh, a meteor? Sure, maybe a follow-up to the a follow-up to the Orish. We'll leave that on as a natural disaster and see what see if that comes up. We can always put that on a second option list. Alright, so let's see. We'll make these equally likely. Oops, I missed 6. Well, it's going to be down here. There we go. And then we'll get some stuff set up here for our random numbers and our dice. All right. Let's see what we get here. So 10 options. A revolution. Alright, maybe that is why the Cult of Melium is so eagerly accepted here. There's been a pushback against the status quo. Alright, where? Could be Belesa. Could be Cadarport. Well, we know about the king trying to take over later, so let's leave that off for now. And let me call up the map for you guys. And for myself. Maps. Let's stay at Gethra's page. We'll take a look at the map here. Alright, so we've got Belesa, we've got Cadarport, could be in Starath. We haven't even added a page for Starath yet, so let's put that option on. And could be on Varnordos, the Isle. I think that's the main areas. There's other cities here on the Great Isle, but they're not nearly as large as Belesa. But let's put on there the rest of the Great Isle. Keth has nada. Keth? I just haven't added any pins on there yet. I'm not going to put them on, though, because they're very isolated from the rest. It could be something that's happening there, I guess, but it wouldn't. I don't think it would attract Luthera or the pirates, because they're just kind of doing their own thing. Yeah. And Chorus we already know about. I don't know that there'd be a revolution there. either, just because there's all these little tribes. So maybe one of the tribes is having some sort of revolution, but it wouldn't be quite as widespread, I don't think. So, all right, did I actually flip that 4? I did. So Varnordos, interesting. So let me tell you guys a little bit about Varnordos. So way back when, this entire landmass used to be connected to the Great Isle, and the perhaps Copper Cove was a lake at that time. And there used to be an empire called the Empire of Norris, and the Empire of Norris ruled much of this land. And then came invaders from the south, the Aurene, and a long, drawn-out war began as they kind of slowly fought over all of this land. At some time during that, and some believe magicians to be behind this, a giant jellyfish from the sky. A giant jellyfish from the sky. No, a meteor impacted, putting an end to the war and putting an end to the empire, more or less. And that was called the Orish, which impacted. Now they named this body of water the Orish because it was caused by that fall. And some believe that the gods were responsible for the Orish to put an end to this bloodshed. Some believe that that magicians did it as an act for one side or the other. Yeah, but no one really knows, and it was such a major impact, like it would have caused winter on some parts of the world that didn't normally see winter, and there would have been less sunlight and all sorts of fallout from that. So it was quite a major event for the entire world of Gethra, and that's what they consider year 0. So then, fast forward a few centuries, and the people who used to live around here are like, we should reestablish the Empire of Norris. The people who profited from it, of course. So then you have the kind of new empire forming, which is just Varnordos. They haven't managed to expand much beyond that. A few times in history they've tried to take on other parts of the coast here, but it never really seems to stick. So that's why you have this city, their capital, called Norris, that was... So we'll say during this time, the empire, the Empire of Norris, the new Empire of Norris, is having a revolution of some sort. So I guess the question then is, Luthera is sailing the seas, the Grey Sea, the Orish, the Bay of Nordos, maybe Copper Cove, and has heard about this strife going on Varnordos. Perhaps the pirates think some profit to be had, but Luthera, of course, thinks a good fight to be had. So they could head there. They could try to take a side or just profit off of it, play both sides. Or perhaps they target another area who's kind of, sent some aid to Norris that was somewhere that's now weaker because of this revolution. So what do you think? What do you think, chicken with rabies? Trying to figure out which year this is. Oops. But do you think they're going to target the revolutionaries, the empire, or the revolutionaries, the empire? We got that happened in my world. Oh, ancient. Yeah, that's a good point. We should delve into that, Babacus. Ancient continent-sized cosmic jellyfish woke up and shifted. That's cool. It's quite an interesting natural disaster to have. All right, 735. So this is just a year later, right after she signed up on this pirate ship. let's say a Great Revolution will group in with popular revolt. If it were to succeed on a large scale, it would be um, a dance revolution. A dance revolution. What? All right. But yeah, I like these options. Just might as well give us some idea of, what kind of political thing is going on here. One, a coup. So it's a bit more. It's a bit less of the general populace involved, but there's been some attacks in the capital, perhaps, and a new government is trying to take hold. In 735, a coup d'état threatened to destabilize. Well, let me try to describe this a bit here, and we can see what makes sense. Coup d'état threatened to destabilize the Empire of Norris, with a few attacks unfolding in the capital. The long-standing, what are they called? Yeah, well, anyway, the long-standing lineage of the empire, of the emperors of old. So they've kind of continued this lineage, this bloodline, all the way down since since the pre-Orish days. And yeah, so the old one would have been definitely more like a dictatorship or a monarchy at least. And I think whoever is trying to take that over, they could be just trying to supplant it with their own people. But let's take a look at that. What is the new system that is trying to take out the emperors? The emperor's bloodline. What do you mean by that, Chicken with Freebies? A bit more like a merit-based kind of society? Let me take a look here. It just seems like most of their economy is based off of what they have available in their land, rather than imports exports, right? I think that's kind of the idea. Sure. So we can put that on there. They're tired of all the foreign influence, so they believes all resources of the world belong to all people equally. Oh, okay. I'm not sure personally how that would affect all of the layers of society. I'll put it on here. You can always help explain it a bit more if we end up needing to figure that out. Resource-based society. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking oligarchy is likely. I think this coup would probably be orchestrated by the other nobles who are tired of just one bloodline having all the power. So, um, yeah, a new monarchy, and we can put on there um, a form of democracy. The common people want rule, and some people who have their interests in mind are perpetrating this. But because we ruled a coup, that's less likely than a popular revolt. So let's see here. We found a little more likely. We'll make this one a lot more likely because I just think that makes the most sense based on what I know already about the land of Varnordos. And it could be that one as well. Alright, here we go. Let's see if your guys' consistent luck holds true. Alright, we're going to need to do this one though. A number generator. So can I make this one bigger? There we go. That's a little better for you guys. Wait, why did I put 79? Just 9. 9. A new monarchy. Interesting. So someone is just tired of that particular bloodline and thinks theirs is going to do better. Face the rise of a new ruler making claims to power. Alright, so I think we'll circle back to my question earlier, chicken with rabies. So, a couple options here. I'll spell them out so it's easier to see what's going on. Let's say your pirate ship, so you can kind of have some advice to the captain and see what happens. Take advantage of the power struggle by targeting the people of Varnordos. Take advantage of a power vacuum elsewhere when another city sends aid to Varnordos. Or take a side in the struggle, old empire or new monarchy. So those are some options that I can think of. Of course, if you think of something else that you would like to do in light of this, we can roll with that. But I just thought this might be cool, these would kind of make sense as some different options. So it is up to you what Luthera and her crew will do. That's true, but I think you can have some input if you'd like. Or if you'd like, we can just put it up to the dice. Just see if Luthera will not take any. Okay, sounds good. All right, let's see. Let's backspace these dashes out of here. What has happened to this? There we go. Okay, so then we'll say, what does the captain do? I think it's less likely that he would take a side in the struggle, so let's make these two more likely. We don't really have any reason to believe that he's a particularly political pirate captain yet. He could also get out of Dodge, that's true. Maybe they're around there and the goal is to escape. But I'm thinking more on the grand scheme of things. We know that they... Like, you guys, within the last year, set out from Kedarport together. This is only a year, within the year of after. Yeah, so it could definitely be that they are not going to get involved in the military struggle because they are just one ship. But I don't imagine that they're going to be trapped here for some reason. I think that they're, we're just asking, like, over the course of the year, here's this thing going on. Do they get involved? How do they get involved? So that's kind of the gist of it. this time.